Because of your Christmas one.
It smells amazing.
Hey.
We're celebrating, always celebrating.
Working with what we got in the kitchen for right now. Tasty. And how we met, that's a story.
I think you're best at telling that story.
It's your turn.
Oh my god.
Tell it from your side about how.
We'll do both. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell your side, and I'll tell my side. Ladies first.
Oh god.
Chivalry's not dead.
So you have told every stranger, every dog, anyone that would listen about our story, you've told everyone. For me, I've only told the story once. And so this will be my second time sharing the story.
But she's embarrassing or something, I don't know.
I think I'm enamored by you. Like, I love looking at you while you say the story because it depends on the person that you're telling. So you don't change the story, but you omit things or you say things. Like, it depends on the person and their awareness of how much you're willing to tell about it. So I know the whole full story, but you leave out certain things or you add in certain things. And I think it's really interesting to just watch you kind of make the story short or long depending on the person's just like attention span, but also willingness. I don't know. It's just really interesting to see, to experience. So I like that about what you do. So feeling the pulse of the consciousness of our audience, I'm going to spare no detail. So, all right, how did it start? So it started with, I got the idea, which was a channeled divine download, right? To do a podcast, to start one. And so this was the third time. The first time, I had heard it from someone. They're like, oh, hey, you should start a podcast. And I was like, interesting. And then the second time, another random person told me, hey, it would be so good for us to record our conversation that we just had because it was so meaningful. Like, this should have been a podcast episode. And I was like, huh, interesting. And then the third person, my best friend, while I was on an adult divine assignment, taking care of her and her newborn baby and her 2-year-old and caring for them, and also them caring for me, she was like talking about podcasts that she wanted to listen to them again while she was getting ready and doing things, but she lost her AirPods, so I gave her mine because I wasn't using my AirPods because of I use wired headphones. And so anyway, I got the idea. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna send out a signal. And so on Threads, which I had only gotten like a month before, I had put out a thread message and said, okay, I'm looking for people to do a guest speaker podcast, people that I didn't care about their credentials, I didn't care about anything about them. So that's what I saw all through like podcasts and like speakers, is like they only cared about your credentials, and like you had to do an interview and you had to like write out interview questions and report and have a whole resume and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with any of that. I just want to make it my way, and my way was just sheer authenticity, love, joy. And that's it. Like, just a conversation, being yourself, sharing your spiritual journey, and connecting. I just wanted to find my soul tribe. That was my intention. And because all of us are looking for that type of connection, because it's that spiritual, when you're in the spiritual journey, you're alone. It's hard. And I was ready to attract that. So anyway, I sent out that message and 8,000 people saw that thread. And I got hundreds of people that reached out to me that wanted to be on as an episode. And within 12 hours, I was booked for 3 seasons, which is incredible. Which each season could go from like anywhere between 8 episodes to 20 episodes. I'd already had booked probably 70 or 80 people. I only ended up doing like 50. Because as soon as I met him, when we physically met, I stopped. I canceled like two weeks worth of people, and I had at sometimes 6 people a day that I was recording. And so it just all came rushing to me. And when you're open to receive, when you are attracting, the universe will provide. Like, all I wanted to do was give love and share my love. I was already sharing like my poetry, my channel messages that I was receiving. I was already doing all that on threads and my videos on Instagram. I was already doing all these things, and I wanted to do more. That's what people needed. And so he reached out and was like, okay, hey, I have a story that you need to hear, and I have a great story to tell. And I was like, perfect, say no more, like, say less, right? Let's book it. So then we scheduled it for a week later, because that was my next opening, and it was like on the weekend. And so I go through tons of episodes, right? And finally, I'm just looking forward to him. Like, the whole entire time, I had so many people that I was going to meet and do episodes, but the moment we booked it and scheduled it, like the whole week, I was just anticipating, just waiting. And like, my spirit guides were they were just giving me a round of applause. Like, they were so excited and so hyped for him. And I'm like, why are you guys getting me so excited just for this one person? Like, what's going on? Like, what are you guys trying to tell me here? Like, and they know that I love surprises, so they left it just at that. They left it just at that. That's it. They said nothing more. And I was like, all right, fine. Like, I'm just going to continue on with my life. And finally, we get to the episode. And I'm like, we are doing the episode. I'm like, oh my God. One, look at him. This guy's like a Greek god, Adonis. He's just so handsome. And I avoided looking at any of his Instagram videos. Like, I didn't want to do any of that to myself. So I was like, I'm just waiting until I meet him. So I heard his story, and I'm like, whoa. Viscerally, I felt so connected to him, and like instantly, like I just didn't understand what I was feeling. I just felt love, really. So I'm like, damn, like I really want to be with this person, and I didn't know what to do. So anyway, after the episode, we end up like talking afterwards, like FaceTiming, seeing each other, and talking more about my story, since he was saying his story, and seeing how much our stories were intertwined and how everything really did lead us up to that point. It was really cool. And so I've done all my podcasts just audio only. I didn't let anyone see my face because I'm really intense with my eye contact. And he was trying to be so cool. He was like looking away and just like, talking to me on the phone, but like he wasn't really looking as much, and he was just playing it off. And then we start, like, I give him my number, just as I do with like literally everyone on the episode. Every speaker, I gave them my number. I was like, look, we're best friends now, like talk to me whenever, right? So I gave him my number, and like we text a little bit, but then he was just like, oh, let's just see what happens. Like, we're just gonna let it unfold for us, whatever that may be. And I was like, okay, that's really cool, but what? Like, I thought we had something going on. Like, I really was confused. And then he ghosted me, and he didn't, like, for a week or two, like 2 weeks, ghosted me. I think like a week later, he like sent me his playlist of something to listen to, which meant a lot to me, because I'm like, oh wow, he wants me to listen to like the music he listens to all the time. Like, that's great. He did that, but so I asked my spirit guides. I was like, what's going on with him? Like, why is this happening, right? So when two people meet, like twin flame or divine counterpart, like you have to close out and collapse timelines. Like, as soon as you meet, you two collapse timelines. So you have to end like karmic loops. You have to cut all the energetic cords, like all the ties that you have. Like, you have to tie up loose ends, is basically what they were telling me. They're like, look, he's got a lot of mess that's going on, and he needs to close out like his past and his old, paradigm, like his old timelines. Like, he needs to close all that out. He has so many tasks that he needs to do until he's ready for you, and hopefully he can do it. And if he can't, then he's just not ready for you, and like it won't happen, right? It really is divine timing. I'm always like, damn, like I went through 5 deaths and rebirths and transformations in between, you know, us talking from that one episode to the second episode. And that was from me meeting tons of people and going through my own stuff, but I think it also had to do with the same thing, like we had to both be ready for each other. So 2 weeks passed after the first episode, and he calls me. He like texts me. He's like, "Hey, I want to do another episode." I was like, "Sure." And then we talk on the phone for like 2 minutes, and I'm like a child. I am just beaming, smiling so hard because this guy called me, and we only talked for a minute, and I was like, "Damn, that's it? That's all he wants to talk for?" He's like, "Hey, we're doing this episode. Like, you know, what should be the theme, right?" So we scheduled it for Easter Sunday, and he wanted to do a sermon, which I'm like, damn, this is awesome. And it ended up being this super incredible thing. It was so incredible. But the day before, I had given myself Easter Sunday to not do any episodes. It was my one day off out of the, like, I don't know how many, like 3 weeks nonstop straight, like so many. I was like every hour. I was so booked. And so I had given myself that day off. I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to rest. I was starting to feel like pain in my body and depleted of how much work I was putting into the podcast, because I had to constantly purify and cleanse myself from so many other people's energies. And they just required a lot of love. They required a lot out of me. And I was also channeling and doing so much. I was just doing too much. I was like, dude, I need this day off. So I was eating lunch with my friend, and my friend's like, you should cancel on him. Like, you already promised yourself that you're gonna give yourself this day, and like you're not adhering to what you promised yourself. And I'm like, look, I don't make my schedule. The angels make my schedule, and if they approve and they make me go through with this, then I have to do this. Because when I was too tired at some points, like, I would tell the angels, like, hey, if anyone needs to cancel, like, cancel them. If they're not in alignment with my sole purpose, with my mission, which is truth and love, then they are not allowed to even record. They're not allowed to be with me in this episode. And the angels, my guides, they would make people fall off the face of the earth. Like, I had so many people cancel, or just never respond, or just weird things. And that's just how it works, right? Because I never waste any time or energy. So I always would say, if the angels approve, I must do it. And they approved, like I had to do it with him, like he was definitely going. And then I even told my friend as I was eating, I was like, dude, I know I'm so tired, but what if this changes my life? Like, what if this episode changes my life? Like, you know, that's why I need to do this. And that's how serious, like, I took my podcast. Like, it is sacred, and it's like a dove in my hands, and it needs to be like held gently. And I'm like, this is important to me. Like, this is my heart, my soul. Like, I know that it's going to do so much goodness in the world, because they had showed me in my, you know, in my download, in my vision, of how many billions of people that I'm going to affect all over the world. And it was done. I was shown. It was amazing. And even proof. I was given proof after all of it was published. So it was incredible. So anyway, after the episode, I am just writing tons of love songs and poetry and guided meditations, and I'm listening to Sade on my vinyl turntable, and I'm just like lost at sea. And I'm in this realm, in this state, after we've talked, of just like immersed in love. And I'm like, okay, I'm in love with this guy. And I had to sit with myself down. I'm like, what is happening, right? So then I try to be professional, and I write him a text, and I'm like, hey, like, if you in my life, the only, like, I think I was just like, okay, look, if we're meant to just collaborate and work together, like, thank you, that was incredible for me. But if you're in my life to be a mirror of unconditional love, then thank you, because I've never felt that before. I have given unconditional love to everyone, but I have never received it. And I received it from him because he is unconditional love, the frequency as well. And so to be able to experience that with each other, I was just like, just thank you for that. But also, I'm in love with you. And you know, I just like, that was a bold move. I've never done any of that before. And my spirit guides have told me, like, I need to make bolder moves. I need to, like, really share my story and put myself out there. Like, I'm gonna do bolder things in my life and my mission. So I might as well just, if he never talks to me again, then at least I was honest with myself. Like, at least I could do it. Because I've never reached out to people, like men. Like, I've never, like, been the first to say I love you. Like, I never did any of that stuff. But I'm like, look, it's right in my heart. Like, I just have to do it. And so I did. And I like, sent it and then threw my phone across the way of, like, the hallway. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done, right? And then he texts me back. He's like, I need to call you. Like, I'm going to call you. Like, he was playing beach volleyball, like, going on with his life as, like, he carries on so easily. And I was just not. And so then he calls me and he's like, hey, I feel the same way. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, what a relief. Like, I'm so happy. And I was just like, wow, like, this is this is best case scenario, right? And that's just how it works. And then we talked for a few days, and he's like, all right, when are we gonna meet in person, right? Like, we just wanted to have, and I was just a flight away. We lived in the same country, thank God. And so, you know, I went, and then we met, and we've never been separated ever since, and it's been a month, and it's been the most craziest, amazing love story. It's just been so incredible. We've lived multiple lifetimes in just this 1 month. Like, every day is a year, and we've gone through, like, so much together. And yeah, I'm just really happy. I'm just really happy that all my dreams came true. Like, everything that I manifested, everything that I've ever wanted, it all happened for me simply because I did it scared. I put myself out there in every way possible to help. Just my mission was the same mission as him, to help heal as many souls on this planet. Like, help, I don't know, just be the highest good for all, and just love. Love is the law. I don't know. There's so many things. And it just made sense that we're supposed to be working together and being together. Yeah. And we've completed so much, so many missions together already.
And it's getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah. So that's my first time sharing the full length story. I do have some details that I did miss from, because I did have friends that I talked to about this and stuff. So anyway, yeah, it's crazy, man. What do you think? What do you think of the full length story?
No, I'm glad I finally got to hear it. It's great. And my experience of it all is very different because, to me, my like backstory of how I got to meeting her is like so important for me to even be able to like be on this journey, right? So I've been bartending for forever, right? And I just kept hearing the whisper, like, quit your job, quit your job, quit your job, and just like louder and louder and louder. So then finally, it was back in February of last year, I finally like hung up the apron and had no plan. Like, basically anytime I looked for work, I couldn't find it. So I was like, alright, like, you know, I am not supposed to work a job. So I had things happen in life that like allowed me to survive, but literally like flying by the seat of my pants, living on a prayer, however you want to put it. But it always worked out. And there were a lot of wounds and things that really helped me heal because of, you know, being able to actually like accept help from people. So I've always been crazy independent, done everything alone. I've always lived alone for a long time, unless, you know, I was living with like a partner. I had roommates for a hot second, but That was definitely not my thing. Like I just like my own space, and I was kind of just like a wandering desert nomad, just walking the beaches in California. You know, I had a place to stay, but eventually I moved out of my apartment because I thought I was gonna be like going somewhere, and then that didn't really happen. But there was like this internal knowing that I had the whole time that I was just kind of ping ponging around, like making it up as I go along, that I was going to meet what I knew was going to be, you know, my other half, my divine counterpart. And it was going to change everything. But the hard pieces of all of that were having to cut all the ties in my life. Like basically renounce so much of this material world that we exist in, or rather the way that we exist in it, right? Like thinking that you had to work and be worthy to, you know, earn your keep. Like no, you just by being here, like it's your birthright of just existing as a piece of God-given consciousness. Like working on that, having to go through a lot of things with a lot of women, but not in what we would call like a romantic way, but dealing with some people who are awake and just not walking the path, you know, like going through their own stuff, but like I've always been able to bring abundance to other people's life. If you've ever seen the movie Good Luck Chuck, like I'm kind of like that. It's like I don't have to sleep with you, like I just have to be around you, and it's like I give you like a piece of me, like your life just gets better. And I had a lot of people that really like abuse that trust and abuse their situations, and really like kind of turn an about face and, you know, like accuse me of some pretty wild things that were not even close to what was going on. But anyway, this karmic pattern, like karmic stuff that needs to get tied up, like she said, just to prepare myself. But I really went through it in terms of being like alone. And I realized that I did it to myself, right? Like I needed that. Like I may have been, I definitely was like too harsh with a couple people that didn't really deserve it, but I realized that was kind of Spirit's way of working through like them for just some of the things that happened that like really kind of made me like get back on the straight and narrow, if you will. So I was just living life, you know, like I was just journaling, hanging out at the beach, just like I said, wandering the streets, if you will. And then I saw her post on Threads, and immediately I was just like, oh, I gotta reply to that. Like this is, you know, the opportunity I've been waiting for, to like someone who actually listened to my story, because that was a really big piece of what I was going through, was learning the truth about who I am and kind of just like sitting with it for a year and some change, actually longer. Yeah, it's 2026 now. Jeez. Year and some change. Year and some change. It was right before 2025 that I figured out my whole, you know, history with Yeshua and the apostles and all those past lifey things that just keep on flying in. Been here a long time. So I, you know, would kind of tell anyone that would listen about what had happened to me. And it was never really met with open arms. It was always kind of met with, oh, like, it's interesting, but it was always like at an arm's length. And that was a lot of the reactions that I know a lot of people experience with all of the things that we like to dub as part of the spiritual existence. So I kind of just retreated and just sat with myself and spent a lot of time alone. I had people trying to tell me like what I need to be doing and how I need to be doing the work, and all these different experiences with like people thinking that they know it was best for me. Like I literally had someone tell me that they were an oracle and just because of something that I did because like I didn't want to participate in something, and yeah, it's all kinds of wildness that it just kind of makes me laugh. And it's like, huh, like so many lessons learned during that time. So anyway, I replied to her thread, and I had that feeling that something was about to change, but I didn't know, right? Because it felt like I had been kind of searching high and low for, this counterpart, and I kind of like given up, if you will. I was just like, you know what, like this is either gonna happen or it's not. I need to just go enjoy myself, like not that I hadn't been, but just really just release it and just surrender to my existence. My existence was just I'm gonna play a lot of volleyball and just spend all my time by the ocean and just be in my happy place. And then we scheduled our first episode and did that, and I knew something was different because she gave me this sense of like inner peace that I had never experienced before with another person on such like an intimate level. And it's something that I had never felt in this lifetime, but it was a very familiar feeling, but also super foreign. And I didn't really know what to make of it. Like it kind of shocked me. It was just kind of like, whoa, like that's what that feels like. Interesting. So I know that my heart knew at first, like what was going on, but my conscious mind was trying to play tricks on me. I was that was just because she's so awake, and like just all the stories we try to tell ourselves. And I just was like, I need to go back to just being, like just living my life, and that's why I said, hey, like let's just see how this plays out, because I was sifting through things, and yeah, like there were loose ends that needed tying up that I wasn't even aware of, right? Like I was just doing everything that I just felt I needed to do, and that's just how I had been existing for the last handful of years. So then I reached out and ended up scheduling a second episode, and we had talked a little bit before it, but then like I got that message after we did it, and I was at the beach, and I was in the middle of this like fun volleyball tournament a friend had organized, so that's why I said like, I'm just gonna call you. And I'm also one, I like a little bit of like a cliffhanger, like people wait, and I like a little drama, little flair, keep things fun, right? Don't want to appear overzealous. But anyway, I just knew like that was it. Like once I read that message that she sent, it was game over. Then she was on a flight a couple days later, and the rest is history. But what really stood out to me was I had this internal knowing about how all of this worked. I don't even remember where I had learned this. Like things just find their way to me through like my Instagram algorithm, YouTube videos that people say, number patterns that mean things. But like in terms of like true union, right? The feminine has to surrender to the masculine, but that means that like for the masculines out there, like she has to come to you. Like you can't chase her, you can't make her come. Like she has to do it of her own free will, of her own volition, right? So that was another reason that I realized later that I didn't like chase after her, right? Like I had done that before in the past, it never worked out super great, and I just knew that like that's just what I had to do. Like it was her decision, did I want it? Absolutely. But that's how it works, right? Like it's her choice. Yours as well. Like you can always say no too. But in order for it to be like true union in that regards. Like she has to come to you, in a sense, right? And that's just the truth of it. And to me, it was, and I think I had always known that, right? Like I had this feeling ever since I was a kid that like some woman was gonna come in and like sweep me off my feet, in a sense, right? And that's pretty much exactly what happened. Yeah, we've been through a lot, and I think it's really important that we talk about this piece of it too. Of like we have had an experience with like our families is it's been like two ends on the spectrum, right? Like my family has had a lot of very kind of like similar stories. Like everyone, like my parents, my aunts, my grandmother, on my mom's side, like they all met their partner and like they just like knew, right? Like they were all married within like 6 months, and it was all super quick, and they were just very welcoming. And we joke, it was just finally like, oh, finally like he found somebody, like he's like I could just feel like the sigh of relief, but like genuinely happy for me too, right? But her family was the exact opposite. Like it basically, they looked at me like I was just like some homeless person she picked up like off the side of the road, like took in and like cared for, and it sucked, but for me, like the truth of the situation is like they just don't know what they don't know, and they're having their own experience, and like that's just the way that they choose to have it. Like I had one of the hardest conversations of my life, like having to sit down and talk to her dad, and just just let the man say what he needs to say, and be on my way. It's like, you're not gonna control this experience for me. Like I'm not gonna bend my knee to like do what you think I need to do. To be told you're 18 steps behind because the material sense of the thing, like I had nothing. It's like, no, I already knew I had everything, right? I just was walking with faith, as a lot of people would say, and I mean, look where it's led me. Like I've been traveling, I've been doing all the things I've ever wanted to do in my life with like the person that I've always wanted to do it with. And it only keeps getting better and better. And it's funny because we both had lessons to teach each other about certain things. For me, being more like etherical, if you will, like the connection to like spirit, and she's taught me so much about that side of things, and I've taught her a lot about like detachment and the physical, like the things about the body, like being grounded on the earth. And it's like we were both the piece of the puzzle that finally fit together. We were no longer trying to like jam puzzle pieces together. Like it was just a perfect fit, right? And it's like every piece that I needed like help with, she had, and vice versa. It's like the perfect yin and yang situation, right? Like it just works.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
like that's the really beautiful thing about it all, is like when you allow yourself to just put everything else down and let love into your life and truly embrace it, but from a place of self-love. Because something I like to say to her is like, who knew the mirror could be so beautiful, right? Because so many times in my own life, not just in like the physical way, but like the emotional and spiritual way, like I take a look at myself in the mirror and it's like I didn't really like what I saw, and like a lot of people around me, because my outer world was a reflection of my inner world, like I wasn't the biggest like fan of my life. But now, like I don't know how I ever existed doing anything else. You know, I literally changed at like the drop of a hat. Now, I was like a wounded animal because I hadn't been, you know, like romantic with anyone for quite some time, and I just spent so much time alone, like allowing someone to like care for me and like embrace me and you know like just like cuddle me. I was like the puppy you got from the pound. I was like kind of abused. It's like yeah, like I like this. This feels good, but I don't know. Like all right, like this is nice. What's the catch? Oh, like you're just gonna keep doing this? Oh, okay. Like this is great. And you know, like it. I needed to just let her in, you know, and like that was. It wasn't hard. It took like a couple hours, if that.
Yeah.
And it's like we're still learning things about each other. We're still remembering, you know, stuff about it, but it's and the crazy thing about all of this is all of the synchronicities and stuff about our lives, and not even just like we were listening to a lot of the same like things, doing a lot of the same stuff, play a lot of the same sports. I even like offered her to like wear a pair of like these harem pants that I have, and she's like, dude, somebody gave me that exact same pair of pants. Like all kinds of just bizarre stuff. Like we both will just chug maple syrup out of the bottle at night. Like just literally I was like, dude, I'm like feel like I'm the only person in the world that just drinks maple syrup right out of the bottle. Like, oh no. Like of course you do that.
Yeah.
It's bizarre sometimes to just like take a step back and just let the mind wander with it for a little bit, just like.
And it's so easy to coexist. Like everything is just so natural and so easy, and we never want to be apart from each other, even if we're mad at each other or if we're feeling frustrated or any type of way. Like it is so harmonious and so peaceful, and everything is interwoven in such a way, like it's so natural, like the way that we live our lives and our lifestyle, the way we eat, like the way, like all of our whole entire schedule, like everything's like, oh, that's your favorite milk, like that's my favorite brand, and like we both, yeah, it's just we like the same things and don't like the same things, and we're both, yeah, it's just so incredible and insanely easy.
And overwhelmingly weird.
Very weird.
Like very bizarre.
Yeah.
Like when I tell you, like, it literally is talking to the like female version of me.
Mhm.
Like really.
Exactly.
We met my buddy for lunch when we were out in California.
Oh yeah.
And I literally saw him like stop before like, you know, we like greeted and like hugged each other, and it's been a minute since we'd seen each other. And she had got up to go like to the bathroom, and his comment was, the first thing I saw when I walked in, he was just like, my first thought was just, holy shit, there's two of them.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and it's really true. It's really true.
Anyway, moral of the story is let more love in your life. Like,
Yeah.
for example,
Love is the answer.
I thought I was going to just like renounce booze for like the rest of my life because I had this. It was like, oh, I need to be
Me too.
perfect. I need to be so pure.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, you already are that. Like you all, everybody is if you allow yourself to be. Like, came to have an experience, and like people put like hard work into like making this stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm not drinking it anymore to like mask pain. It's just like less libation, sit here and just like chat about love and
Yeah.
spend time together. Like,
Yeah.
it's great. Also, it tastes like Christmas. I mean, who doesn't love Christmas? Well, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, that's the story. It's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. And yeah, she says it all the time.